The wife of a man detained by immigration officials is suggesting political activism as a factor. Good evening, I'm Steve Solis.
And I'm Mary Nam. Zahid Chaudhry has been at the Northwest Detention Center in Tacoma since last week. His family believes he's been unjustly held as a longtime resident of the state and a military veteran. KOMO senior reporter Chris Daniels sat down with Zahid Chaudhry's wife, Melissa, this afternoon and joins us live with more. Chris?
Yeah, Melissa Chaudhry has been politically active. She ran for Congress against Congressman Adam Smith last year. She's doing the same in this next election, and she says she's been very vocal about her opposition to the war in Gaza, as has her husband, and that her free speech has ended her husband's freedom for the time being in a legal situation that remains cloudy. Under a Thurston County roof,
he's always been such a generous pillar of the community.
Melissa Chaudhry says is signed evidence of her husband's community impact.
Humanity's home.
But Mohammed Zahid Chaudhry, a disabled military veteran and father of her 2 young children, is instead in detention, she says, after he volunteered to appear at a naturalization hearing last Thursday.
And this is a peaceful, gentle, honorable, decorated, disabled American veteran who has been treated like worse than the criminals.
He was disappeared into this detention center.
Despite a pair of rallies over the weekend, Zahid has remained in detention and raised questions about whether there is more to the story. Do you think this is related in any way to the claim that he stole a passport or used a stolen credit card?
I think they will attempt to make a lot of smoke out of that. He was told to take a plea deal and plead guilty, right, in exchange for what's called a rising of the court in Australian terminology, which is a misdemeanor at the level of a parking ticket or below, never been repeated.
Another part of that allegation is that he didn't report that when he was in Yakima and seeking a position in Yakima.
It was a genuine oversight that he didn't report it initially. He applied to be a volunteer police officer. He heard a radio ad that they were seeking support. He was already dedicated to serving his community every way he could. He was in the Army, the National Guard. He was a volunteer paramedic.
She does believe that her run for Congress and the couple's vocal opposition to the war in Gaza is a factor in Zahid's detention.
My husband and I are both very clearly on record standing up for the human rights of the Palestinian people. I find it entirely plausible that that is a contributing factor as to why my husband is currently in detention.
And Chaudhry says no matter the outcome of his next hearing, that opposition will not change. And that fraud conviction that you heard Melissa reference to, it was in Australia years ago. She says that that is not pertinent to this case and notes his long-standing community ties here as an example of that. I did reach out to Immigration and Customs Enforcement today to get their viewpoint on this whole situation, but that email was unreturned.
Chris, when is the next hearing in this matter?
Well, I am told by Melissa there is a hearing on Friday, and she is expected to have support there. She is hopeful. I did reach out to State Senator Yasmin Trudeau today, who is considered a longtime friend of the family, and Trudeau told me that she is very concerned about this case because she says that the federal government is handling the situation involving a disabled veteran the way it is, and she says she's concerned that Chaudhry had been participating in the process, lawfully participating in the process, and she worries that this sends a chilling effect to anybody else who is seeking citizenship.
Chris, thank you.